Incoming Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller, joins me now. Stephen Miller, I don't think I get a chance to congratulate you on air, so congratulations.
Thank you. It's our first time being together since this historic landslide victory, so it's great to be with you under such jubilant circumstances.
Jubilant for some. If you're Joy Reid, not so jubilant. She's thinking your uncle's going to narc on you.
All of the right people are unhappy, and all of the right people are absolutely overjoyed.
And that's when you know if a pick is good. If someone likes a nomination that you don't like, you're like, oh, no. But if someone's freaking out, you're like, that's the guy.
Yes, that's always the tell.
So where are you now in terms of this transition? It looks like Gates is gone, Bondi's in, and it should be smooth sailing. How are you seeing things?
Well, President Trump has assembled, as I'm sure you've seen, Jesse, the most transformative set of cabinet secretaries in American history. I mean, RFK, who's going to take on the deep state at HHS, take on the corruption in medicine, and make America truly and actually healthy again. You mentioned Pam Bondi. I've known Pam for years. She's a close friend. Look, people know that she has sterling credentials, amazing, unparalleled intellect. But here's what people may not know that I know. She is tough as nails. You want an AG who's going to take down the cartels, take down the migrant gangs, who's going to use the 70,000 law enforcement officers at DOJ to get rid of the foreign criminal enterprises in this country? That's Pam Bondi. This is the AG that is going to help President Trump deliver on his promise to liberate America.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise, and yes, we got to talk about it, man. Stephen Miller, as you see here, Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. This dude right here, he's going to get into it. He has zero doubt that the malfeasance that's been used, during the H-1B or in the H-1B, issue that everybody's talking about right now, it will get taken care of. It will. Again, I am one of those people that believe that the H-1B program is okay. I do think that we need to take a concerted effort to make sure that we are training our own people here in the United States to be able to take on these opportunities that present itself all across this country. We definitely need to do that. But this H-1B thing can be a stopgap. We must put some ramifications or some parameters around the government contracting space, making it mandatory that companies train a certain amount of people if you want a government contract. We also need to incentivize our companies out there, our private sector businesses, to also train up the future workforce for the opportunities that are available. And then we can use the H-1B visa to fill in those gaps. And hopefully within 10 years, we will have a strong STEM, strong healthcare talent pool. But right now we don't have it, but we can get there. We definitely need to look at reforming our K through 12 system. We definitely need to look at pushing these colleges to provide a quality education. There's so many things that I can talk about, but we're going to get into this video. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Consider buying your man a coffee. Link in the description box below. Let's go.
President Trump has also announced a transformative pick for OMB, Russ Vought, that just came out. Russ Vought, nobody, and I don't mean there's any competition here. Russ Vought has been the guy for the last 4 years who's been developing the plan to take down the deep state. That's Russ, and he's going to be right there at OMB to execute that plan. This is really incredible stuff, Jesse. I know these people.
This
is exactly what America voted for.
Take us inside this transition. You were appointed pretty early in this process. As you see people come on board, are you calling? Are you already talking strategy? What's the conversation like inside?
Well, President Trump has assembled, in addition to what you're seeing publicly announced, he's assembled a world-class policy team behind the scenes that's working every day to put together the day one executive actions and executive orders that are going to implement every single one of his campaign promises. whether you're talking about public health, whether you're talking about the national invasion and emergency on our southern border, whether you're talking about the diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, whether you're talking about getting men out of women's sports, out of women's bathrooms, out of women's locker rooms, right? All the things that President Trump barnstormed the country campaigning on are now being put at his direction and order and instruction into written form so that the first day, the first week, the first 100 days will be a bolt of lightning. And all of the policies, reforms that Americans have been begging for and pleading for and asking for, President Trump is going to deliver one after another. The swamp, the deep state, and the communists will not know what hit them.
So, Miller, when the pen hits the paper on the EO on day one, on immigration, tell us what some of those executive actions are going to look like on day one.
Well, I can't reveal everything now. There has to be some anticipation. But what
Give
I
us
can
a little
say,
tease. Show us a little leg, Miller.
What I can say is this. As President Trump has said, on day one, the southern border slams shut to illegal immigration. So all the illegal aliens all over the world who've been taking a free ride at America's expense for 4 years, guess what? You show up, you're not getting in, you're not getting through, you're not getting released, you're not going to any city anywhere in America. The only thing you're getting, courtesy of the U.S. taxpayer, is a flight back home. Goodbye, see you later, not coming in. And then on top of that, of course, as has been much discussed, ICE, Homeland Security investigations, and as I mentioned, the core elements of the Department of Justice are going to launch deportation sweeps to get these criminal gangs out of our country. So we're going to liberate, under President Trump's direction as commander-in-chief, his plan and his vision, we are going to liberate one town after another. And for that alone, President Trump should be carved to Mount Rushmore for what he's about to do to set American cities free.
Well, I think Nancy said Joe is going on Mount Rushmore. They're going to have to maybe take a different pickaxe and fight for it up there. Tell me one more thing about these guys resisting in these cities. They're saying it's a sanctuary city, Miller. These Democrat resistance fighters are going to say, we're going to line up cops around the block, and if Jose raped a kid, we're going to let him stay. We don't want anybody kicking him out and sending him home. What is that going to look like?
Well, for one thing, I can promise you, police officers in these cities are going to be desperate to work with, to work alongside federal law enforcement officer to clean out these nests of criminal aliens. The president has the endorsement, as you know, of the Fraternal Order of Police. No one's had more support from sheriffs, law enforcement, rank and file police. I promise you, when the liberators show up, when they roll up in their federal law enforcement uniforms with those vests, the local police are going to join them arm in arm to get the migrant killers, gang members, and drug dealers out of the country. They will be the first in line. They will be handing over these criminal migrants to federal law enforcement, and where they have to go into the homes, they'll be right there alongside them, because these police officers, I don't care what these mayors say, these cops, they know who the criminals are threatening their cities. And when federal law enforcement under President Trump's directions on day one roll up into those cities and roll out into those gang nests, the local cops are going to be right there with them saying, we are here to help you get them out. The mayors are going to lose this fight, the sanctuary mayors, and they're going to lose it badly, Jesse.
And one of the ways you can do it, too, is just dangle the money, because they need federal cash to survive, especially Democrat mayors. So if you're going to be a sanctuary city to criminals and people don't belong here, why are we giving you all this money if you're not cooperating with the mass deportation? That money.
Absolutely. Cut the funds off. Denver, Chicago, New York, you don't want to participate. You don't want to help. Hey, we're going to cut the spigot off.
Should go away, right?
Yep. Yes. President Trump's been very clear. Every federal lever, including financial, will be used to end sanctuary cities' defiance and absolute shirking of their constitutional and legal duties. The federal government has supremacy on immigration enforcement without even a question. This is settled law. The federal government is the entity that has the final say on immigration enforcement. And if these states continue to shield, as they have, people that are raping and murdering children, every federal tool at President Trump's disposal will be used to bring these cities into compliance. And let me tell you something, Jesse. The American people will cheer. They will cheer. They will celebrate. When their parks are clean and safe for the little kids, when there aren't rapists that are trying to menace innocent girls and children, when they can send their kids to school without having to worry about Train de Aragua or MS-13, when they can take a stroll in the evening on a warm, beautiful night and not have to worry about getting crushed in the skull by someone stalking up behind them who doesn't even belong in our country, they will cheer. Not just Republicans, independents, Democrats, Americans all over the country will say, thank God that President Trump is in the Oval Office and is saving our cities from the people that were brought into the country under Joe Biden who do not belong here. The criminals who came out of these other countries, they're fugitives, they're killers, they're inmates. They're going to be set up on planes and they're going to be flown back to wherever they came from.
An inspiring bellow from Stephen Miller on the eve of Thanksgiving.
I definitely appreciate the message. Appreciate the sentiment as well. And I do agree. This cabinet is extremely strong. When you look at the people that has been put in a position, Trump's come in with his eyes wide open and not shut this time around. He's come in understanding what needs to be done, who he can trust, who he can't trust. This is a different look. And I'm 1,000% here for it. Shout out to Stephen Miller and RFK Jr., Elon Musk, Vivek. There's so many people to list. Pam Bondi. The American people asked for this. The American people voted for everything that this man just mentioned. And we are 1,000% looking forward to the goal being accomplished. It's time to take our country back. And it's time to get our country pointed in the right direction. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.